Hi, today is the 16th of August, and I would like to read in Romans chapter 12, verse 1. Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice. Therefore, I urge you. It's very interesting to read Romans chapter 12 because after we have heard all these wonderful things about the gospel, uh, Paul now is going to exhort us to uh, to practice what we have actually heard about the gospel. It's like as if we are trying to learn to another language. If you speak English, you maybe would like to learn Portuguese or French or Basque, but you can hear a lot about the language, read everything about the language, but if you don't speak it, you'll never be able to really learn it. I'm telling you, I had to learn English, French, an African language. I'm trying to learn Basque now, but my mother tongue is Portuguese. I was born in Brazil. The day I was staying with a family, an English family in England, when I was there to learn English, when I went to live with that family and I had to use the language day and night, then I realized that I didn't really speak the language well. I had to be in a situation where I had to speak. I was forced to speak. Christianity, I mean, what we call the Christian way of walking here, it is learning about it and then doing it. It's reading about God, learning about to know Him, and to know the way He walks, and then walking like Him. Jesus said, "If you wanted to come after me, you have to deny yourself, take up your cross, and follow me." We have to walk. We might think that Paul, when he's saying therefore here, he's thinking about everything he said from chapter 1 to chapter 8, including the end of chapter 8, when he says that nothing can separate us from the love of Christ. And then he would say, therefore, I urge you. Or we can think that he's got in mind what he said at the end of chapter 11, when he said that everything was from him, to him, through him, and glory be given to him forever. Therefore, he's urging us to do something. He's urging us to walk. The Bible tells us that we should love our enemies and pray for them. We know that we have to love our enemies. We have to love everyone, our mother-in-law, father-in-law, wife, husband, children, enemies, neighbors, everyone, with God's love. But if we never put it into practice, it's not going to be effective in us. Nothing will happen to our lives if we just listen and listen and listen and listen and we never practice it. The Bible talks a lot about the danger of using your tongue to spread evil around you, to offend people. There's lots of teaching in the Bible against using your tongue to spread evil. Because every time you say something terrible about someone, you are going to be cursed yourself. So the Bible tells us that we should be careful of what comes out of our mouth. But we can hear it year after year after year after year. But if we never ever put it into practice, we cannot call ourselves really real disciples of Christ. It's like if you're training to run a marathon, but if you never run, you have to start running actually on your street where you live before you can go to Paris and start running the marathon in Paris or in New York or anywhere else. So I urge you, therefore, to practice what you've been learning, to give what you have received. That's what the teaching of Paul is going to be in chapter 12, 13, 14, and 15. He does the same in Ephesians and Colossians. Christianity is made of teaching, knowledge, and practice. You have to put into practice what you have learned from God. There is no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. So the moment you hear it, you have to start practicing it, believing in it, and stop saying that you are lost, that there is condemnation against you. Nothing can separate us from the love of Christ. But it's the moment I start practicing it, believing in it in my daily life, that it's going to be effective in me, that I'm going to bear the fruits of the practice. You wanted to learn another language? Start speaking it. Just by saying, tomorrow I'm going to Paris. I love you. I was born in that. You have to start speaking. Je m'appelle Junior, j'habite en France. You have to start speaking it. So Christianity is listening, understanding, hearing, and practicing. Loving, giving. Stop saying things that are not necessary, that will offend people. Praying for your enemies. You want to start practicing your Christianity? Start praying for your enemies, blessing them. Instead of just praying for your friends, pray also for your enemies. And that's the teaching of Jesus. That's the teaching of Paul. You are going to see in these chapters that Paul uses a lot of the same ideas of the Sermon on the Mount that comes from Matthew chapter 5, 6, 7. Lots of it will come from what Jesus has already taught his disciples. Learn and walk. Learn and speak. God bless you.